Here we go. Here we go. Let's go, Jared. Let's go. All right. How's everybody doing today? Did you guys have a kick-ass weekend? Well, I tell you, we had a good weekend here. Did you see that live? Go back and watch that live. I did it on Saturday talking about the secret, okay? I'm going to talk a lot more about that because I find it so intriguing. And I find there's a couple of people that are now talking about this kind of stuff that are fantastic. And I got some of their books, got some of their videos. We're putting it all together to see the larger picture, people. And so we can understand what's going on in the world, but more importantly, so you can take some of that information and put it into what you're creating and make it fantastic, okay? If you're fed delusion or illusion all the time, you're not going to put out good quality product. We want to put out good quality stories, animations, all kinds of stuff that really grabs people and hits them and resonates with what they're doing in life right now, right this minute. So we're excited about that. Now, to that end, I'm going to try and have James on today. We're going to talk about what's going on in England, okay? And then I got Ebi. I think he's going to come on later this week, and we're going to talk about what's going on in Spain. Like, what the hell, people? What the hell, okay? What the hell is going on? And I'm excited about that. And I think today's day 7. So how about that? Happy day 7. We're excited about that, okay? We're really excited about that. Then we did a fantastic grilled cheese yesterday. Go watch that if you want some food. And I am so stoked to be making food. Now, I got this burner. Came in the mail. I ordered it, right? I was like, I seen, who was it? Who did I saw? What's his name? Not Stale. Is it Stale Cracker? You know, the Cajun guy who's a chef. Do you know what his name is? What is it? Crispy Cracker? I think it's Stale Cracker. I'm not sure. White Cracker? I don't know. He is white though. But he got that Louisiana accent and he's all outside. He's got all kinds of outdoor cooking, right? And I fucking love that. So I got myself an outdoor propane burner. This motherfucker's like a jet engine, bro. It's gonna so I'm excited to go ahead and make some sort of Thai food or whatever on a nice big walk out there in the backyard with this fucking burner. So I'm stoked about that. So I might give that a go this Sunday coming up. So look forward to that. I'm really excited about it. Of course, I want to make some egg rolls and some crispy Thai triangles. You know, those triangles they make with the potato and all that stuff in it. So good with the spicy basil chicken. Oh my God, that's so good. And then maybe 1 or 2 little curries. I don't know. I was always a big spicy basil onion chicken guy. That was just put me over the moon with a little something crunchy to go along with it. Woo! I'm feeling it right now. Are you? Anyway, so I think that's what I'm going to do. We might do a whole stream of like Thai food or whatever, Chinese food. Even maybe I make some mean Chinese food now. I was in China for a while. Learn how to make some mean Chinese food, okay? So that's like real deal stuff. Not this, Panda Express. It's all corn syrup and you're just like, what the hell is this? Tastes more like something you put on top of ice cream than actual Chinese food. It tastes terrible, people. That ain't real Chinese food. Real Chinese food is fucking great. All right. Also, we'll do that. Okay. So here we are. We find ourselves on day 7. Are you stoked? I'm stoked. Can you tell? I'm really excited. Get stoked. Okay. Get excited. All right. We're cheering Jared on. We're stoked for him. He's down in Lima, Peru, doing his competition. The judo competition is going on right now. So we're cheering for you. Let's go, Jared. Come on, buddy. We're pulling for you. Hillbilly Harry, we got to get you on so I can chit-chat with you about what's going on with Jared. And I'm thinking maybe even after this competition week, we'll get you on and just have a little chit-chat, see how he's doing, see how was the experience, kind of like, you'll be the news guy you know, Johnny on the spot talking about what happened down there and all that good stuff, because we want to know. I want to know. Fuck, man. Come on, let's go. All right. So are you stoked? Be stoked, people. Number 2, you got that critical eye locked up. You got him under control with that impulse control. You better be doing it. Keep him in the hole, except for you want to pull him out. All right. Then number 3, how's your schedule doing? Is your schedule, has it gotten away from you? If so, use this week to go ahead and get it back. Hey, ain't no worries. The schedules get away from us, you know. Life's a dance, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. The tide goes out, the tide comes in. Let's be ready when the tide comes back in so we can jump out there and get in the water, ride some waves, okay? Let's make that happen, all right? So that's exciting. All right, a couple other exciting things going on. Now I got myself some of this golden ink right here. I saw somebody drawing with it, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's awesome!" Okay. Now this guy, he's in Japan. I'm not sure what kind of golden ink he had, but I found some golden ink and I got some, so I'm excited about that right there. Boom. Gonna do some stuff with some gold. I got some of this cool ink too. I've had this for a while. It's this green ink. The reason why it's so cool is because it is actually water soluble, and it actually turns into all kinds of metallic colors when if you do get it wet, and it separates out. So I've been dying to use this forever. Hadn't used it. Gonna use it soon though, okay? Quit saving your special weapons for that rainy day. Start using them now so you can get more rainy days, okay? So you can get more special weapons. Let's go, people, all right? And I'm doing something for Johnny Rocket. Got them doing some promo stuff for him. He's getting ready to launch the Maniac. So we got the Maniac yelling at this kid saying, "Back it now." And I'm going to have a whole bunch of words down here. You know, I'll do that digitally. I'll scan it in, and then I'll throw the words up there digitally, so it'll be a nice little, I don't know, visual commercial, you know, for Johnny. I'll probably try to make him one more, because to help him kind of like put that out there, you know, because that, bro, if you could craft imagery that sticks in people's minds, that's it right there. You won. You know what I mean? They might say, "Well, I don't really remember this or that, but I remember this image," you know? Like, what about Rosie the Riveter? Everybody remembers her, right? You can do it. Rosie the Riveter? How? Wasn't that a bunch of shit? Wasn't that a bunch of shit, okay? So anyway. Well, how you doing? Okay, what are we going to talk about today? Let's get to it, okay? Let's talk about it. Now, I'll tell you what I did this weekend, okay? I was working. I'm trying to get this streaming thing going. I'm trying to make it better and all this kind of stuff. Trying to get her excited. And so I'm in there and I'm researching. How do I make these things an overlay that move? And what program do I have that I can use so that I can make it happen? You know. And I find some overlays, and the people want to charge you like $100, and I'm like, fuck you. You know, that ain't gonna happen, right? Let me just go ahead and put my time and energy and creativity into it, try to make my own thing happen. So I'm making my own thing happen, right? And I'm like working here on my setup. I got my computer over here. I got my artwork right here. I got my supplies right here. I got my camera switcher over here, and camera right there, camera right here. And I'm but then I'm like, got my TV up here. But then I'm like, you know, I need to be watching a movie, you know, while I'm doing this in the background. Because I love watching me some movies, or even a series. I love a fucking banger series like The Wire or Ray Donovan, or I'm trying to think of even recent ones. I can't think of any recent ones, because I love to have my mind working in the background, following along, thinking about things while I'm working, right? So I go and I look and I say, "Oh, wow, okay, the last Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, you know, I'll watch that." And I do remember from all of the advertising that he has this fantastic scene where he's like, I don't know, on these two biplanes or something, and he's jumping from one to the other as they fly, right? So I'm like, "Oh, okay, we'll turn that on." So I turn that on, and I'm sitting here doing my work, whatever. And you know what? The movie just, it grabs me, and I have to stop and I have to watch it for a little bit, right? But not because the movie is fantastic, but quite the opposite. It's because the movie sucks so hard. It's so fucking bad that I have to stop and I have to say, what is this? Is this the movie? Is this? I remember watching Mission Impossible 1, and I was like, wow, this is pretty good. Even 2 and not 2, not so much, but 3 and 4 and whatever, Ghost Protocol or whatever. And I'm watching this movie, and this movie sucks so fucking bad. And I couldn't believe it. So I'm sitting there looking up at the TV being like, is this real? And then I'm looking at Tom Cruise and I'm like, who's this fat lesbian they put in Tom Cruise's place with this fucking his hair that looks like it's some shag fucking wig that they put on him. Bro, it's horrible. Then I'm looking at his love interest and I'm like, this bitch is in her 40s. What are these people thinking? Terrible writing. Terrible. So I have to start watching it now because the writing is so fucking terrible. And I'm like, wow. So that's what I want to talk about today. Terrible writing. Okay? What is terrible writing? How do you know if you're writing terrible? How do you know if you're writing basically projection? Terrible writing is projection. Terrible writing is projection, which is propaganda. What's the difference between projection and propaganda? Projection is when an individual tries to, I'm trying to use a definition without being recursive and using the same word in a circular definition, okay? When they try to take an idea and cast it out for people to see instead of actually feeling that emotion, okay? So projection is like if I say, I'm angry. Now I want to cast that out so other people respond to me being angry. Okay? So my true intention is to get a response, right? So I create this idea, this thought form of what I think anger is, and then I try to broadcast it out to people, my viewers. So I'm like, I'm angry. Okay. Right? And it's not real, okay? So projection is broadcasting the intellectual component of an emotion. And as you know, there is no intellectual component of an emotion, okay? Emotions are all emotional. There is no intellectual component to emotions, okay? And so when you try to intellectualize in your mind, and this is what narcissists, manipulators, people like that, this is what they do, okay? They practice this over and over. I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm meh. And you can feel it. It's not real. And or when you try to project even a more complex concept like a bond, a love bond, a love bond. I love you. I really love you. I love you. No, I love you. And you could tell it's not fake, and it starts to become creepy. Okay, that's projection. That's what people do when they're trying to act. Bad actors or average actors. Now, what's propaganda? Well, propaganda is a little bit more refined. Propaganda is when you try to collectively take those projections, put them out there, and then try to tell people they're authentic. You try to gaslight people into telling them that they're authentic. Oh, he's really mad. Can you tell? Oh yeah, he's really mad. You better do what he says because he's really mad. He's really mad. You better do it. He's really mad. That's propaganda because propaganda is trying to steal your agency through manipulation, gaslighting, lies, basically. You know. But it makes for horrible writing. Okay, this is terrible writing, and that's what I was watching in Tom Cruise's movie last night, Mission Impossible: The Last Fucking Cold Plate of Spaghetti. This is what it was. Okay, so that's what I was watching, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching. I'm like, okay, well, this would actually be a great topic to talk about tomorrow when we talk about writing. Okay, so when you try to force something intellectually, oh, I've got to write something very gripping. I have to write it. You're already out of your writing zone, okay? And the reason you know you're out of your writing zone is because the critical eye has snuck up behind you. And he's the one telling you in your ear, boy, you better write this. You better be angry. You better be mad. You better be, as soon as you hear those words, I have to, I better be, any kind of these commands, That's the critical eye that done snuck up on your shoulder and he's talking in your ear, and you know everything you write from then on is going to be bad. Okay? It's going to be bad, people. It's going to be bad. Oh, you better really write this scene. It's really action. You better write this action. Okay, how do you know when you're not doing that? Okay? Remember, last time we talked about slipping through that portal of imagination. Okay? You're the viewer. You're experiencing it. You're watching it. You're not being told or dictated to, or you don't have this idea of, I have to really make this rising action big. No, no, no. It's because you're just watching it. You're experiencing it. And that's the difference. That's how you know the difference. When you're in the moment of your imagination, there is no critical eye. There is no expectation. There's only enjoyment. Even if it's sad, it's enjoyable. Okay? You lose time. There is no greater ego watching you. And your mind is not split in half. Okay? If your mind's split in half, you're not writing good. You have to unify your mind in through the portal of imagination to write well so that you can channel what you're seeing and the true emotions. Because that critical eye will lie to you. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah. Now make the girl knock out that man who's 300-pound bodybuilder. Yeah, oh, that's real good. That's dynamic. No problem. It sucks dick. Okay. But you really have to go through your imagination portal and see what happens. Big man comes up. He's fighting this little girl. She's an athletic one, maybe 120 pounds. This guy's 300 pounds. He's a lot. She jumps up to do a Superman punch. He just grabs her by the neck, catches her. She struggles. He takes her, wind fills her head into the concrete, and it explodes. And he gets up and brushes off his hands and walks. It's real. It's real. So if you want the woman to win, you got to come up with another way for her to win. It can't be brute force. Whereas if you're in the critical eye, he's saying, no, she pulls out a knife. He's grabbing her by the throat. Somehow she sticks it in his throat. And then she looks at him and goes, yeah, motherfucker. No, bro. The guy's reach is way too far. Okay? Even if she manages to pull a knife out and swing it around, he's going to lift his shoulder. More than likely, she'll just hit his shoulder and stab him in the shoulder. She's still dead. Okay? So we got to get that propaganda out. We got to make sure that critical eye stays locked in the home when we go through our portal of imagination. Because as soon as the critical eye pops up, he pulls you out of your imagination. Okay? The critical eye cannot exist at the same time you are engaged in your imagination. Right? Now, some key identifiers to know that your imagination is if you lose time, right? If you're sitting there writing, and all of a sudden you look up and it's been 2 hours. You've been doing it. Good job. You've been doing it. You've been flying through there. Okay? If you experience emotion that actually makes you laugh out loud or cry or get angry, good job. You're doing it. You're channeling that. You're right. You're actually right. You're doing a good job. If you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, it's got to be better. Oh, they're going to tear me apart if I put this out. Oh, you got to really make this good. That's the critical eye. That's not you. It's the critical eye on your shoulder, like a raven, just on your shoulder talking to you. And you're writing crap. Okay? I hate to break it to you, but it's the truth. We all been there. I've been there many times. I went through all these acting classes. When you get on camera, it's the same concept. You get on camera because the camera don't lie. Okay? The camera catches everything. If you try to project on camera, the camera catches that and everybody sees it and says, that motherfucker project? That sucks. Okay? But if you actually really do manage to get into your imagination and you create this emotion and you emote it, you put it out there, the camera will catch that too. And people will say, oh, bravo! Oh, bravo! You're such a good actor. Where did you learn to do that? And they'll go nuts over it. Now, why does projection not work and emoting does work? Why is that? Well, Because when you actually emote the emotion, okay, and you're able to send it out and broadcast that emotion, it resonates with the people in your audience. So they become emotional too. And that's what we classify as good acting, when I can actually manipulate the emotions within you through my performance, right? Some people even call that witchcraft. Thank you. Now, projection doesn't do that because you're not actually broadcasting that emotion. What you're broadcasting is a social expectation that they yield to your idea. You're demanding that they engage in groupthink and they think like you. So you're actually being a tyrant when you do that. Okay? Because the people that break away and say, nah, man, that fucking sucks, bro. Everybody else says, no, that's Tom Cruise. He's the greatest actor of a generation. He's fantastic, and you just don't know good acting. It happens in the art world, too. You know, you'll have somebody paint a huge painting, you put it up on the wall, and it's like, you know, these two dogs fucking rolling around in spaghetti sauce or some shit like that, and it's all abstract, and you walk up there and you say, I don't get it. What's this supposed to do? And then there's this big paragraph on the wall, and they're supposed to go up there and read the paragraph, and this is the representation of the thought form of the desires of the nature of the beasts that lie within each of the men. And you read that and you step back and you look, hey, what the fuck is this? I don't. And then you have that the docent, you know, from the museum comes over and goes, I noticed you're having trouble, you know, grappling with the metaphors used in the painting right here, and I'm over here to help you retrain the way that you think so that you can think like this guy and blah 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 blah. Why this is a fantastic painting of postmodern Neolithic ass licking piece of shit stuff that you have to, you know, change your mind so you can appreciate it. And you're like, huh? It's the same way as if you go to a restaurant and the chef back there and they make you some things or whatever, and he comes out and there's a couple little dots on a plate, and you go, "Is it?" What? And then the chef comes, all right, this is the best trend in French culinary cuisine of the 26th century with only the finest oils and from the great and then you eat it and you're like, you pick up the wafer and you're just like, okay, the wafer, let's see. How much? You look at your wife, your girlfriend, why'd we come here? She's like, oh, this is the hottest ticket and hottest spot. Right? I had to pull some strings for us to even get a thing. Quit disrespecting me. You're embarrassing me, Julio. Julio's over there going, yeah, can we go by the taco shop on the way home? Because what the fuck is this shit? You know? So those are all things that different art forms that try to come in and, you know, be tyrannical and put your mind in a box, because all of us, every one of you, me, her, him, are all professionals in our senses, okay? Think about that. We are all, I've been eating for, you know, however many years, right? You've been eating for however many years. You know what good food is, right? You can't argue me into believing that this little piece of shit that you put on my plate's a good food, okay? I know what good food is, all right? Don't gaslight me. Same thing with art. You've been looking at pictures. I've been looking at pictures my whole life. I'm a professional picture watcher, okay? I've been looking at the professional pictures, sunsets, nature is the highest form of fucking art. I don't care what Picasso said. Picasso and all them, you know, abstract art was a deconstruction of culture and society generated by the CIA in the 30s. If you didn't know that, go look it up, bro. Go look it up. They're called thought forms. Thought forms come out of witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. Way to control society. A whole bunch of psychologists talk about it. The cult talks about it. They're thought forms. Visual thought forms. Okay? It's shit. It's not real. You and me, you've been dealing with people your entire life. You know when somebody emotes emotion. You know when they broadcast emotion. You felt it. I know. We've all been around our parents. They're doing it. We've been around our friend when they fall off their bike and they skin their knee and they cry. You're like, that did look like it hurt. And it makes you cry a little bit. Or hell, you gotta go and you gotta put your best friend down. You know, after 30 or 10 or 15 years. I didn't say if it was an animal or maybe it was Frank and he, you know, drank too much at the bar. I'm sorry, Frank, but today's your last day, buddy. One last pint on me. Of course, I'm talking about your dog, your cat. You don't put your guy friends down. Come on. Maybe you do. I don't know. So we felt that emotion, right? So social engineering comes in and tries to gaslight us, right? Gaslight us and tell us we have to believe this, that there's just something wrong with you if you don't get it, if you don't like the food, if you don't feel the emotion. Well, motherfucker, I'm here to tell you that's a fucking lie. That's a bold-faced fucking lie. Straight from the depths of hell, as my preacher used to say. And you got to rebuke it in the name of Jesus, okay? Because that's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. So we're here about the real deal stuff, aren't we? And this brings us back to what we were talking about writing, okay? We're here to the real deal stuff. When you find yourself projecting, stop, all right? Go take a walk. Go do something physical. Go forget about it for a while, okay? Because the more you worry about it, the harder it is to get rid of that critical eye. The more you tense up, the more that critical eye stays stronger on your shoulder, whispering bullshit in your ear. So you got to let it go. Go surf, go shop, go walk through a mall, go barbecue, go do something, go lift weights, go do something fun. And then come back and have a good time and slip into your imagination and then start over again. And that's how you're going to go. Okay? So if you feel that happening today, do it like that. Okay? If you feel yourself projecting, there's nothing worse than writing an entire book of projection. You say, this is the greatest book in the world. My critical eye told me so. You go and you put it up on Amazon. Nobody buys it. The few people who did buy it say, nah, you know, it's all right. Not the greatest, not the worst. It's all right. You don't want that. I don't want that, right? We're here to make the most of our time. We want to spin our time, our straw, into gold, okay? And the way we do that is we have to serve an authentic story, authentic emotion, authentic experience is what we have to serve. And so we have to choose not to project, but instead to actually experience and then record that experience. Slip in the imagination portal, experience what you're recording, write it down. After you've written it down, we can come back and we can reshape it, right? So first we have to get that big nugget of gold down on the paper. Then we can come back in and turn that nugget of gold into a necklace or a bracelet or whatever, you know, like that, okay? So I want you to get out there. Wait, we got to do the little exercise real quick. But I want you to get out there today. And I want you to work on what we talked about last time, slipping into your imagination. Okay? And I'm going to do a little exercise real quick, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of instruction on how to do that, or where to target it, rather. Because once you slip into your imagination, you use your focus to target where you go. Okay? Because your imagination is a world folded upon world, like Inception, right? It can go anywhere, as many times, in upon itself, whatever you want to do. The way that you navigate through your imagination is with your intent and with your focus. Okay? Now, what do they say? Where your attention goes, energy flows. That's how this works. I want you to get this. Put me up in the corner. Yeah. I want you to get your little thing right here, your little post-it note or whatever, and grab your pens, okay? I want you to relax for a second. Take them 3 deep breaths. 1, push out the worry. Take a deep breath. Slow your heart down. Think about your heart. Think about your heart. Know it now. It's focus. Controlling your focus. I want you to put your focus down in your toes, wiggle your toes, let your toes being wiggled. Breathe out again and relax. Can you feel the relaxation coming on? Can you feel how relaxed you are? Take your hands and put them together like this and slowly rub them so you can feel the ridges on your palms and your fingertips. Slowly, slow it down so you can feel the ridges. Feel the ridges? Yeah, I can feel the ridges. Okay. All right. Now what I want you to do, I want you to think about a time when you were in school, right? And I want you to think about a teacher that made an impression upon you. It could be a good impression, it could be a bad impression. Okay, think about a teacher. Out of all your time in school, think about a teacher. Okay? You got that teacher in your mind? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take your pen out and I want you to draw that teacher. Okay? So I'm going to draw my teacher. You can draw it cartoony or real, however you want to do it. Draw your teacher. All right. My teacher was in the 7th and 8th grade. I had her in 2nd grade. Her name was Miss Johnson. She was an older lady. And she had crutches because she had something wrong with her legs. Can't remember what it was. She walked around on crutches. And of course she had them boobs that hung down all low. Sorry, Miss Johnson. You got to do that. Right? Am I right? That's real. See, when it's real, it's funny. Right? She had these crutches. And she would hobble around. She kind of had a hunchback. She wore these long skirts. And she wore New Balance shoes, right? She had some really nice white New Balance shoes. I remember them because they were the nicest tennis shoes. All the other teachers tried to wear these, oh, let me get my tie, you know, these nice brown loafers or whatever. All right. She had a little necklace that she always wore. And now think about, so I got her right there. Now I want you to think about your teacher, okay? What is something that your teacher said to you that stuck with you? What is something your teacher said to you that stuck with you? Miss Johnson told me talent alone will not carry you. Okay. So that's what she told me. She had a nice big desk, and so let's go ahead and get out this marker right here so we can do it in a speedy fashion. She had a big old water or coffee, I don't know what it was. I never had a sip myself. A big old water canister that she took around. And the reason why she stuck with me is because she was one of the few teachers who cared about my progress despite the rules. She didn't care about the rules. If I could argue from a good enough position, she would let me win. If we were in the classroom and she said, you got to do this, this, and this, and if I argued and my argument was sound enough, she'd say, okay, then do it now. You go for it. And you could tell she was one of the very few teachers that I ever came across that was genuinely invested in their students' well-being and success. Whereas most teachers felt like babysitters that wanted you to comply so that their job was easier and their experience was smoother at school. They were doing a job. But Miss Johnson, she was there to mold minds, and she was there to help people become the best, I guess, people they could become. And so that always stuck with me. Even when I went to engineering school, talent alone will not carry you. And I would say when I went to engineering school, that was the first place where my talent failed me, and I had to work. Because up until then, my talent for math and all this kind of stuff, I didn't have to do no homework. I could show up 10 minutes before the class and then bang out the homework and turn it in, or I could not even, I never studied for a test at all, ever. Go in there and get all the answers right. No problem. But when I went to engineering school, it was different. It was a different level. Everybody was like that. All the teachers, all the professors had PhDs. They all knew that. They experienced that. And the curriculum was so rigorous and at such a big volume that I couldn't rely on my talent because my talent was overwhelmed. Okay? Was overwhelmed. I didn't know how to scale myself so that I could keep up. And Miss Johnson turned out to be right. Talent alone will not carry you. Okay? So, what I want you to do today is I want you to write a little scene. Okay? I want you to go into your imagination. It could be just a paragraph. In your notebook, or in your notebook, I got my notebook right here somewhere. Pull it out. Boom. Write yourself a little scene where you go and you run into your teacher now. And you talk about that thing, whatever it was, that they said to you or that you remember them for, and you have a conversation and record that conversation. Observe it in your imagination and record that conversation in your notebook. Could be good, could be bad. Hell, maybe they were hitting on you. I don't know. Maybe you're this beautiful woman in her teenage years, and I had them. I had a girlfriend in high school one time, she was a fucking knockout, okay? And all the teachers hit on her relentlessly. The male football coaches hit on her. She would tell me all about it, and it was creepy. So maybe that happened to you. Maybe you're going to have an interaction like that. Maybe the scene goes dark, but go with it. Or maybe it's something like mine, a real positive one, where you talk to Miss Johnson, and you say, Miss Johnson, you know what, you were right. I went to school, went to college, and everything you told me turned out to be right. And I wanted to say thank you, and I sure appreciate you. And hell, maybe it's her ghost. Maybe you're over there getting yourself some boar's head salami in the deli aisle, and her ghost just materializes next to you. And you say, Miss Johnson, what are you doing here? She says, I come to get me some boar's head too. I love that stuff. And you have a little conversation about it. But have the conversation, use your imagination, and surprise yourself with what you see, and write that down. That's it right there. That's good writing. Okay? Now let's fucking get after it. Let's support Jared. Let's support you. Let's support all of us. Let's go. Come on.